Christophe Fillioux walks through his family estate in the cognac region of southwest France. It has survived for 5 generations, through wars and financial crises. But after the latest tariffs announced this week by U.S. President Donald Trump, Fillioux is starting to tear up some of the vines by the roots. With 1 out of every 2 bottles sold going to the U.S., Trump's tariffs have left many of the region's 4,000 growers apprehensive. France's cognac industry exports roughly 97% of its production and has always been reliant on international trade, according to an economics professor at Bordeaux University. The U.S. decision to slap 20% duties on all European goods comes after Beijing in October targeted the industry in retaliation for the European Union's tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. The U.S. is cognac's largest market, followed by China. Since Beijing imposed trade measures, sales to China have plunged by half. Florent Morion is the president of the BNIC, an industry body representing growers and cognac houses, including LVMH-owned Hennessy and Remy Cointreau's Remy Martin.
Cognac is more than 300 years old. We were happy to develop these 2 markets for decades, which were our 2 driving forces. And what you need to know is that historically, when one didn't do well, the other always did well. And it's never happened in the history of cognac that both are not doing well at the same time.
Cognac producers and suppliers, from bottling and packaging firms to the makers of barrels, cork, and containers, employ roughly 70,000 people in the region. Some face an extra hit. Jerome Schmidt works as a general manager for a century-old oak barrel maker.
We've already had one of our biggest customers telling us the same night that they're holding off on their orders to see how they will manage this additional tariff of around 20%.
But even before trade tensions, cognac sales to the U.S. were faltering. Paris-based luxury consultancy MAD attributed the drop largely to aggressive price hikes in recent years, affecting middle-class consumers. In February, BNIC reduced the annual production limit for a 3rd straight year to just half the levels of 2022, citing weakening demand. Cognac exports to the U.S. last year were just over $1 billion. Things could still get worse. Trump has threatened 200% tariffs on European wine and spirits if Europe hits U.S. bourbon with additional duties. Back at the Fillioux family estate, Christophe says the industry should focus on domestic sales.
We should consume a little more in France and import a little less rum or whiskey, which isn't to say the quality of these products are bad. But if we could be a little more patriotic, it wouldn't be bad for cognac and all the others.